Hi, Tropical Bob here with another way to save money on your tobacco habit, and that's by switching to electronic cigarettes, electronic smoking, or personal vaporizing, as some prefer to call it. Personal vaporizing hasn't been around all that long. Back in 2004, a Chinese inventor named Han Lik either invented or stumbled across, depending on who you believe, a design for an electronic smoking product that didn't use tobacco. Instead, it used a solution with nicotine in it, and that solution was vaporized by an atomizer powered by a battery. It didn't hit the United States until 2007, however, with any mass appeal. Back in August of 2007, that's the first time I encountered electronic smoking, and I wrote about it in a technology column I do for magazines. Interested, I went ahead and ordered an electronic pipe, an e-pipe, from a Chinese company called e-cig, and it arrived on January the 3rd, 2008. I've been an e-smoker since that date. I've been off cigarettes since July of 2007. The electronic pipe, the e-pipe, is a gorgeous thing with a wooden bowl, a battery that drops down in here, a separate mouthpiece, a cartridge that's larger than just about anything else made. But the problem with the e-pipe, the atomizer's in here. And atomizers last 1 month for some, 3 months for others, about 4 months in my case. And then it began to produce wimpy vapor. So you order a new atomizer, right? Just like you do for the rest? No, you don't. This is the atomizer, as you recall, so you need an entirely new piece, and it's anything but cheap. The Ruyan model that Han Lik put out was over $300 for this pipe. But it is a good-looking thing, and I convinced my boss to allow me to use it at my desk at work. The pipe lasted me, like I say, in terms of satisfaction, about 3 months. And in March, I ordered the e-cigar. Now, it's not really like a cigar. It's more like a cigarello in size. And some call these bling when they were put out by Ruyan. The e-cigar is a pretty good smoking device, but never gained popularity. To me, it's almost an ideal fit in my fingers, however. I think I almost prefer it to cigarettes, to the e-cigarette feel. This one died on me, and it's no longer usable. And companies today come out with little cigarellos like this that are disposable. They last about a week, so you can order one for, say, 10 bucks, use it for a week, and then throw it away. I really like these. I think they're classier looking than a cigarette. Cigarettes are so frowned upon that even a fake one today will draw stares of hatred your direction. Cigar smokers are in a league all their own, however. They're a bit elevated. Now, after the cigarello came a flood of look-like cigarette products. Most of them were complete junk. As a matter of fact, I haven't found a really good one yet that looks like a cigarette. I've been through a ton of them. I've got baskets of these stashed in my room here, just pieces of crap. The atomizers die quickly. They may not even last 3 days. The battery might last you a week or two if you're really fortunate. They were cheap, more ways than one. I will never repeat mistake by ordering another one of these things. There seemed to be some good ideas along the way, like the portable power pack here from Health. What it did, it contained 6 refill cartridges, an atomizer, and a battery that was recharged, if I can get this to work, recharged from the pack. So you just push out the prongs like that, put it in the power socket, watch the little lights light up, and when it turns green, you're supposed to be ready to go. Talk about cheaply made, however. This really never worked well and lasted all of about a week. I think I went through one cartridge in this piece of junk. Others experienced the same thing. Finally, about March of 2008, we began to get some pretty good electronic cigarettes. This is a pen style. Virtually everybody buying cigarettes, electronic cigarettes back then, was buying a pen style, had a little script, electronic cigarette on the box. And these worked. To many, they didn't look much like cigarettes, and they might even look like an affectation, like you're trying to be Hunter Thompson or FDR, with this thing in your mouth. However, they did produce good vapor, and if you restricted your use to the privacy of your home or your car, you were fine with these. I used one of these for about 6 months before I had to replace anything, and then atomizers began to fail on me with some regularity. Today, this one is essentially useless. Another evolution of the electronic smoking product was the electronic cigar. Now, if you look at this is quite a bit different from the cigarello. For instance, this is much, much bigger. This is a Rush Limbaugh kind of cigar. I can't even keep it in my mouth. It's so big. And that's my problem with it. It's just too big to really use. You have to open your mouth so far to use this thing. I like it. This was a throwaway from Janty, as a matter of fact, and a pretty tasty thing. Very, very good tasting. Let's get back to what looks like cigarettes. This is the Dura C. The Dura is basically it was made by Joy, a manufacturer that puts out a lot of 510 products, as they're called. This particular one, wow, has has a manual switch on it. If you're wondering why I went, wow, we've been experimenting with liquid, and this is what's called whole tobacco alkaloid liquid at 48 milligrams per milliliter strength, which is extremely powerful. The throat hit is monumental on this, and the difference is that I get all of the tobacco alkaloids, not just the nicotine. All right, this is the Dura C. It looks rather like a long 100 model of cigarette. If you want a normal cigarette, this is the Mini Fogger, also made by Janty. I got one of those. When I got it, I was warned that this is really not for a heavy user like myself. This is more for the occasional, infrequent, maybe social smoker. Take this along to parties with you, etc. But actually, it's pretty darn useful, pretty good. And if you don't hit on it all the time, it does the job. Okay, so after we went through that evolution, the modders, they're called modders, they modify, they originate, they remake the electronic smoking products into weird-looking things that look like they ought to come out of a Craftsman toolbox. This, as a matter of fact, is called the screwdriver. And it was made by a friend of mine I made on an electronic smoking forum called Trog in England. He charged $160 for it. It used a 901 atomizer and cartridges for the 901, which are plentifully available, and then batteries that were remarkably like those, as a matter of fact, exactly like those in my original E-pipe. That's no accident. Trog began e-smoking as I did, using the E-pipe, but he was going through about one a week, and it gets very expensive when you burn out the atomizer on a wood pipe stem product that has no atomizer replacement. Gotta buy the whole freaking thing if you need a new atomizer. Okay, the screwdriver was pretty good, but it just wasn't my cup of tea. I could not imagine using this in public. It's just embarrassing almost even to hold the thing. It doesn't look like anything, so it sits. Okay, but how come I like this so much then? What? Does it look like a cigarette, does it? No, it really doesn't. It's called the Janty Stick. And I can hide it in the palm of my hand, carry it like this if I want to. It has a manual switch on the back. And it's just an excellent unit. This is number 2 in my entire arsenal of favorite products. This is a real winner. And it uses the larger pen-style cartridges that I'm used to in my number 1 product, which is the Janty Kiss Box. All right, this is the old pen style, updated, and I've had this for more than a year now. Matter of fact, I've had it going on 2 years now, as of July. And this is a daily user, nonstop, all day long.